And here we have it, guys. We have our keto tamales. I'm so, so excited. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making one of my absolute favorite recipes of this entire year. So we're gonna be making tamales. So this is the absolute most popular version, which is a pork meat. So it's gonna be like a pork meat in a red chili sauce. So it's tamales de puerco con salsa roja. There are some with green, there's like chicken, there's like every, so many different types. I'm super, super excited to share this recipe. It is my mom's recipe. We've been making this for years. We are the dedicated like tamale makers in the family. So on Christmas Eve, my mom and myself and my sister and aunts, we all gather and we make tamales. So I'm gonna be sharing that recipe with you guys, and I'm really, really excited about it. So let's get started. What we're gonna do is first start off by cooking the meat. So here we have our butcher box. It's a bone-in pork butt. And to save time, we're actually going to pressure cook it. But if you were cooking it stovetop, you would cook it for roughly about an hour until like the meat is super, super tender. I'm gonna show you how we get it into our pressure cooker. And we're gonna start off by we'll need some onion, some garlic, and some salt. The flavor will come in the salsa, okay? If you guys already know that most of my meat is from Butcher Box. Butcher Box customizes your box to your liking and to your needs. And I do have them linked below. So if you guys want to check them out, all of their meat is sustainably raised and humanely raised. Chicken and what else? Certain things are organic and everything is grass fed. So anyway, it is definitely a healthy option if it's within your means and you want the convenience of having it delivered to your door. So that's what I do, and it's been working for me for almost 2 years now. So, okay, so we have our onion, and you just want to, I would say maybe about a quarter of an onion. You just want it to get that flavor while it's cooking, okay? So what we're gonna do here is just add 3 little garlic cloves, and I love garlic, but if you don't, then you can add 1 or omit it altogether, because remember that this is gonna be your salsa. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna get about half of this onion, and we'll cut the little colita off. And this is what we're gonna use. So we're gonna use about, half of a small onion, a quarter of a big one, our 3 little garlic cloves, and then our meat. So let's go ahead and put our meat in. I hope it fits in here because, yeah, perfect. And then we're gonna throw our onion and then our little garlics. And we're gonna put some water. Okay, so we have everything here into our little pot. Remember, if you are doing it stovetop, then you would just use that. Then we have a tablespoon of salt, and we're using our real salt. We're just gonna do about 1.5 tablespoons because you wanna make sure that your meat has some salt, but remember, we are going to add all the flavor through the salsa. So this is our meat, and let's go ahead and put it to cook. Okay, so now we're just going to cook this. So put on the little pork, and we start. Remember, if you are cooking this stovetop, you would cook it for about 1 hour and then check it out and see where you're at in terms of the tenderness. Okay guys, so we have our meat cooking. We have it in the pressure cooker, but again, stovetop is the way we usually make it. So just for saving time, that's the reason why we're cooking it in there. Now we're gonna get started with our chile. So this is gonna be the sauce, like the mole. It's almost like a mole. And again, remember, this is something that you could use for any type of meat. So it doesn't matter if you don't eat pork. You can make it with beef, with chicken, with whatever you want. So these chilies are, I know the names in Spanish. So I will try and look for for the translation, and I will show you a little picture. But these here are called chile cascabel, okay? And there's 2 of them. And as you can tell, I took out the little seeds. Actually, my mom helped me, but we took out the seeds of all of these chilies. So you can see that We've taken them out. These here are chile pasilla. So it's pasilla chili, okay? I just want you guys to get a good idea of how much we're using. So we're using 2 big pasilla chilies. And these are chile guajillo. Here you want to do about 4 or 5, depending on the size. Like if some are super tiny, then you do 5. But some of these are cut in half, okay? So don't think that they are. Okay, so this is chile guajillo. So it's about 5 of them, okay? And I'm counting everything because in a lot of recipes, we eyeball everything, okay? So it's difficult to put together a recipe when everything is usually eyeballed. And I want to just show you all the seeds that came out. So you want to make sure you do pull all the little seeds out. And now let's go ahead and make our salsa. So this is a 2-quart pot, and you're just gonna leave about 2 inches from the top. You're gonna fill that up with water, and then you're just gonna throw everything right in, all together. Okay? And we're gonna put this stovetop, and I'll show you step by step. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and bring our chilies. These boiled for about 10 minutes. 10 minutos es enough, dama? Okay. My mom, she doesn't want to be on camera, but she's here helping me because this is her recipe and she's like, doesn't want me to mess it up. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna make our chile. So this is our chile rojo, our red chili that, remember, you can use with any meat, okay? So we have our 2 garlic cloves. These are ginormous. They're like super, super big. Like, I'm not even joking. This is 1 garlic clove. 1, right? I mean, look at it compared to my face. Okay, so just so that you get an idea, if you go to the store and your garlic cloves are like this tiny, then, I mean, get 4, you know? Because garlic is a key ingredient here. So we're going to add that first. We're gonna put that into our blender. And then we are going to start adding the chiles. Okay, so, and I've made this before with my mom, but you know, I'm like her sous chef. So right now, I wanna make sure that I make it perfect. So we're adding the chiles first. Make sure they're all in there. You just wanna add your garlic at the bottom so you make sure that it blends. Out of this the water, we're gonna start off by adding half. Okay, before we blend, we're gonna add our spices. So we have cumin. This is just ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. And we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of chicken bouillon. So you can use your chicken bouillon of choice. Okay, so we have everything in. Now we're gonna put our little lid and we're going to blend. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right now. It's a little thick. So now we're gonna add the rest of the water from the chilies. Okay, so we added the rest of the water. We haven't started blending yet because I tasted it and it needs a little bit of salt. So we are adding a teaspoon of some more chicken bouillon. That's why it's so important. If you guys are able to get chicken bouillon, then please make sure that you get it for this recipe. Okay, my mom's the boss and she said we still need a little bit more ground cumin. So we're gonna add about como a 1/4 teaspoon, ¿no? About a 1/4 teaspoon.
Como half a teaspoon.
Okay, so she's saying a teaspoon, not leveled, but yeah, almost like a little heaping. Okay, because it has to taste like cumin. And then we're gonna blend and we will taste. Okay guys, so we blended everything up. It's perfect. The only thing we are gonna add is a little bit of salt. Now, this chili right here, you can use it for enchiladas, for chilaquiles, like anything that you would typically use those sauces for. This is the chili for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pour out about a cup because this will stay, we will keep it in the fridge and that way we don't have to, you know, go through the process all over again. And I just store it in a little container like this. And that way, next time I want to make something, we already have it. You can even use this like for breakfast on your eggs. It's so delicious, I'm telling you. And what we're gonna do is replace that with water because as you can tell, the thickness, it's fine. Adding 1 cup of water for that it's not going to, you know, do anything to the taste. So let's go ahead and add, since we took out 1 cup of the chili, we're gonna add 1 cup of water, okay? And then here we have our water. Okay, and now let's just add our salt. Okay, so we have our a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're using our real salt. And let's go ahead and just give it a little blend. Okay guys, so we're just adding about half of the mixture right into this bowl, into a pot. My mom just got ahead of me and she started, she poured it. So we have half of it here and we're gonna keep this half, and I'm gonna show you step by step. So let's go ahead and grab our meat and move on to the next step. Okay, so we're not gonna throw this water away because we are going to use it. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with this meat before we add it to our sauce. Yeah, so you could do this with your hand, but obviously once it cools down, like right now we literally just pulled it out, so it's like super, super hot. All right guys, so you can cut it like I'm doing here. You can shred it with 2 forks. You can shred it with your fingers, put it in a food processor, or even a mixer with a whisk attachment. This is optional, but we want to give the meat even more flavor. We put a little bit of onion to saute. And now we add our meat, our shredded meat. Okay. Okay, so we have most of our chili here. We have a little bit put to the side, just in case we need more, but let's go ahead and add our meat. Wow. Deliciousness. Okay, and we do need the rest of our sauce, because as you can tell, there is a lot of meat. Let's add the rest of the chili sauce. Okay, we're just gonna get a little bit of this broth here from our meat to add into our sauce, just so that it's not so dry. I'm gonna walk you step by step on how we're gonna make the masa, which is the dough. Typically, you know, the masa or the dough is made with corn. So I'm gonna show you how we're going to pull together a low-carb ketogenic tamale dough. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the ingredients really quickly just so you know what you'll need if you plan on making tamales. So one of the most important things are corn husks. You absolutely need these, or there's no way of you making the tamales. So we have our corn husks. We do have some already here that are soaking, because you need to let them soak so that they're manageable. If not, they're really hard, they're crispy, and they like break, and you definitely don't want that. So you can find these at like a Mexican grocery store. Sometimes they have them like at a Food for Less, at a Ralph's. During like in the month of December, you can definitely find them a lot easier. So we're gonna go over these ingredients. So here we're gonna use some cheese, some cumin, some chili. We have our garlic powder, some chicken bouillon. We have lard. We have cream cheese, almond flour, some salt, and then some baking powder. Once you taste this, it's so close to the real deal. I'm super, super excited for you guys to try this. Okay guys, so let's get started with our dough. We have our cheese here, and this is double the recipe, so because we're making a big batch, this is 4 cups of cheese. So this is just your Mexican blend cheese. It's already pre-shredded. If you guys wanna shred your own cheese, you can totally do that. Guys, this is your recipe. This is what you guys are gonna make at home. So I'm using pre-shredded because I'm making my life easier. What we're gonna do is we're gonna microwave this in 30-second intervals until it's nice and melted, and I will show you, okay? So let's go to the microwave. We're gonna microwave this. We're gonna put it in 30 seconds, and then we will mix, and another 30. Okay, so this is 30 seconds. As you can tell, it's just barely starting to melt. Let's go ahead and do another 30. Okay guys, so here we have, this is at 1 minute. And that looks perfect. You see how it's just nice and melty and smooth? Oh yeah, let's go. That's all we need, 1 minute. So this is what you want your cheese to look just like this. And just do it in 30-second intervals, okay? Okay, so now that we have the texture that we're looking for with our cheese, we're gonna put it in a bigger bowl so that we can add the rest of our ingredients. And there we have it, okay. Now let's add our cream cheese. So here we have 4 ounces of cream cheese, okay. And I'm just putting it on the cheese because it's hot, that way it can start melting. And then we have our lard. So for our lard, we have a cup of lard. And you can find this at a Mexican store. You can find it at Walmart. I mean, yeah, it's pretty easy to find lard. And now we have our 4 cups of almond flour because we are making a big batch, okay? If you're making a small batch, half everything. And you're gonna be fine. So here we are. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're adding 2 tablespoons of baking powder. So we're just gonna add that on top and we're going to just start to basically knead this. So we are going to form our dough, guys. Okay, so I have Joycey helping me. She is helping me knead it. And this is how you would do it, okay? I'm over here prepping the rest of the ingredients while she does that. Okay, so before you start adding everything to it, you always wanna make sure that you taste your dough, and you can just taste a little bit of it. Okay, it tastes really good. I would say it just needs our salt, so we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, okay? Okay guys, so the masa is done. I went over these spices with you. We have some cumin, some chili, some garlic powder, and the chicken bouillon. Now, I was gonna use that to really just give the masa even more flavor, but I gave the pro a taste, which is my mom, and she said, Mija, it doesn't even need any spices. The only thing I'm going to add is a 1/2 teaspoon of the chicken bouillon. So I am going to add that. But of course, remember, this is your recipe. This is going to be your meal. If you want to add a little bit of cumin and a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of onion or garlic, you totally can. But trust me, the meat sauce is going to be so flavorful, you're not going to need it. Okay? So here we go. We put a little bit of lard into a container. Remember, guys, this is not like regular masa. So yeah, we have to do things that you don't do with your traditional recipe. So we have our corn husk that has already been soaking, as you can see these here. Okay, so these are just soaking in our water, and what we're gonna do here is dry this little baby up. So we're gonna dry it. Grab a little bit of lard. If you have a little brush or something, then you can do that, and that way your little masa doesn't stick. Okay, and I mean, obviously, if you're making these at home for your family, just use your fingers. It's a lot easier, but so it has a little layer of lard on there, okay? Okay, so we're gonna grab a little bit of our masa. This is probably a lot, looks like a lot, but this will be like a jumbo tamale, okay? So you can just spread it. So remember, this isn't regular masa. It was able to spread a little, but now we just go in with our hands and you're gonna form it. You just want it, you don't want it to get the bottom because this is gonna get folded over, and you also don't want it to get the top because it will fall, like when you're baking it, things will start flying out. So we don't want that. Okay guys, so this is a humongous tamale pot, and they have different sizes. This one, we got it last year at Food for Less for like $20. And so it's specially made where it has this little like division. What we're gonna do here is we are going to fill it up with water right under this little guy. So let's go ahead and get some water in here. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do next is we are going to lay we're gonna start laying the rest of our corn husks on the bottom, because once the water starts to boil, you don't want it to wet your tamales. And let's say, for instance, you used all your corn husks and you don't have any left, then you can just use kitchen towels. Okay, so these are our little corn husks with our masa, as you can see it here. And it's okay if it cracks like that, because remember, we're gonna steam it and everything's gonna come together. So you can see it there. And now you just grab about a spoon, like a good spoon. Jumbo one. Okay. Oopsie. Okay, and now we're just gonna finish up all the tamales. Okay guys, so do you see all the steam coming up? That is how the tamales are going to cook. Okay, so that is the way they cook. We have the layer of husks at the bottom. If you don't have extra husks, you can lay a kitchen towel down. Okay guys, so here we have a layer of the husks. We're going to add a cup right in the center with water so that it doesn't fall. And what we're gonna do is organize the tamales all around it so that they don't just fall on top of each other. Okay, you don't want them to open up. Let me know if you guys wanna see other flavors. My absolute favorite flavor is queso con rajas, which is a spicy chili tamale, and that's just amazing. Okay, so now we just start laying these on top because the lid will cause condensation and you don't want anything leaking on top of your tamales. So this is a protection. And if you don't have any left, you can place a towel right over. So remember, these steam cook, so you just want them steamed, no water. Okay, and then we cover, and we're gonna cook for about 30 to 45 minutes, and I will check them in about 30 and see if we need to go from there. But yeah, I'm excited. All right guys, so here are our tamales. We ended up cooking these for 1 hour. What you wanna make sure at the end of the day is that you can literally just peel it right off of the corn husk. And here we have it, guys. We have our keto tamales. I'm so excited. Tamales are one of my absolute favorite meals in the whole wide world, and there isn't a Christmas that goes by where I don't eat this. So trust me when I tell you that you're gonna be obsessed with this meat recipe, with this tamale recipe. The masa tastes the bomb. The meat is on point. The whole thing overall is a 10 out of 10. All right guys, so now for the taste test. And of course I'm just gonna be very savage about it and eat it straight from here. Typically, I would like to put it on the stove and make it crispy with a little fried egg on the side, but oh my gosh, that is tastes like tamales. Wow, look at that. It is so perfect. I'm so obsessed right now. When you guys make this, make sure that you comment down below and let me know what you think. All right guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. This is a family recipe. I hope you enjoy it just as much as we have over the years. Of course, comment down below. Let me know if you make them and what you think, how you love them, and any suggestions that you guys might have, because I love listening to your suggestions. And of course, make sure that you are following me on Instagram, here on YouTube. Please turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss any of my videos coming up. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.